Good afternoon, traders and investors. Today is Monday, March 11, 2019. Welcome to the fourth episode of our EquiTalks. So, what is EquiTalks? This is the program where I discuss one stock every day, every trading day. I give you my technical analysis, I give you my overall sentiment, and then I'm going to give you as well my trade setups. What are these trade setups? So these are recommended positions or action plans for traders or investors who may already have a position in the stock that I'm going to talk about, and also some recommended actions for those who are still in the planning stage on whether or not they will trade the name. Okay, so this is the EquiTalks. And for those who are new to this program, who have just stumbled upon this video or audio or this case notes just today, I would advise that you visit our website at www.equilist.com, and then you hover your cursor on top of the Learn menu, and then you will see the EquiTalks video, audio, EquiTalks note, and those three sub-menus under the Learn menu. So if you are watching this video, my team and I also convert the same video in an MP3 or audio format so that you can still hear about this stock analysis and what I think about this stock while you're driving or while you are in a bus back home. Okay, so this is for those who are auditory learners. Now, for the visual learners, you can watch this video. Just click on the EquiTalks video. For those who don't want to have some headsets plugged into their ears, then you can just read the summary, read the transcribed version of this video. It's on. You will find the transcribed versions of our EquiTalks daily program inside the EquiTalks note. Okay, so for today, Monday, I would like to talk about FB, or San Miguel Food and Beverage Incorporated. Before we talk about the chart of FB, I'd like to check first. I'd like to let you know if it has some dividend announcements. That's why I went ahead to edge.pse.com.ph. So let's take a look at some common dividend announcements for common shareholders. Does FB have one? Okay, zero. It had one, but it had the next dividend date of February 15, 2019 at 40 centavos per share for common shareholders. So that's finished already. By now, your cash dividend should have already been credited into your account. If not, contact your online stock brokerage firm or company. Now let's move on to the stock. Let's proceed with the stock with the chart of FB, and then I'll let you know what I see on the chart. I'm going to interpret this for you. So San Miguel Food and Beverage Incorporated, or FB, is currently moving at 109 pesos and 90 centavos per share. It broke above its previous resistance at 104 pesos last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday. So what I liked about this breakout last Thursday is that it happened with strong volume in favor of the bulls. How do I know if volume is strong? Or are there certain levels that I'm checking for me to use the adjective weak or strong or any synonyms? For me, volume is strong if it's moving above its 10-day volume average. That's why on the volume chart here, I'm using the trading view through my first Metrosec Pro account. On this volume chart, if you take a look at my settings, my moving average's length is set to 10. So by default, I think this is not set to 10 but 9. When you pull up the volume histograms for the first time, I think the MA length is set to 9. So I'm using 10 because I would like to know if the current volume is moving above or below the 10-day volume average of the stock. For me, based on my studies and proprietary methods, if volume is moving above the 10-day volume average of the stock, then whatever direction the stock is currently moving in at the moment, then it will be more likely for that direction to continue. For example, If we see a green candlestick and volume is above the 10-day volume average of the stock, then for me, that ascent in price is more likely to continue. There is sustainability, so to say. In the same way, if it's a red candlestick and volume is above the stock's 10-day volume average, for me, the descent in price will probably continue. Okay, so that's how I check the correlation between the price and volume. Okay, now as of the time of speaking, FB is already moving above the 10-day simple moving average, and MACD is still enjoying its position above the signal line here, this one. What does this mean? This is now confirmation that FB is moving inside the bullish territory as far as short-term time scale is concerned. Is it also bullish in the long-term scale? Yes, it is. How did I know? Because the price is moving above the 200-day SMA, which is the blue line. And to support that, FB is also it's a confirmed bullish stance for FB both in the short term and long term scales. Why? Because the shorter term moving averages are all above the longer term moving averages. So we see the yellow line first, it's above the 50-day simple moving average, and the 50 SMA is above the 200-day SMA. So I am using 10, 20, and 10, 50, and 1, 10, 50, and 200. Okay. The acting support is now the previous resistance, which is also 104 pesos. But before it broke above 104, the previous support was at 98.60. For sure, you'd like to know now, JC, where do you see the psychological resistance? Why psychological? Why not historical? I don't think we can get a historical resistance above 110 pesos right now. So we can only get a psychological resistance. And what did I do to get the psychological resistance of FB? I plotted Fibonacci on my chart. So let me show this to you. Let me zoom it out. So this is the origin. It's on the strong support near 80 pesos per share. That's the origin of my up Fibonacci, and then I extended it until the previous resistance at 104 pesos. So let's zoom it out so I can show you the psychological resistance above 110. There you go. So the psychological resistance is now positioned at 119 pesos per share. That is 161.8% of the Fibonacci extension, which is considered as the golden ratio. 61.8% above 100. Okay, that's the golden ratio. So you can consider this one as the psychological resistance of FB. Am I insinuating that? Am I trying to send across a message? Um, Saying that FB will reach 119 pesos per share. We have to fix the verbs that we're using here then. I'm not saying that it will, but it might. Okay? We're not talking about certainties. We're not talking about guarantees in the stock market. We're talking about probabilities. Okay? So don't look for quote unquote sure balls. Okay? So we're dealing with probabilities here. So based on the Fibonacci extension at 61.8% above 100%, we got the psychological resistance at 119 pesos, and its acting immediate support is now 104 pesos. Should it decide to bounce away from its current level, we can then expect the stock to retrace or retest the previous support at 104 pesos or previous resistance at 104 pesos. If it does not hold above 104 pesos, then expect it to challenge the previous support, the older support level at 98.60. But by the looks of the direction of the price movement and volume, we got pretty solid volume, pretty strong volume. It's already today's volume is just very few number of shares away from uh, registering a whole day volume above its 10-day volume average. I really like the volume of FB for the past 3 trading days. If you have been searching for some analysts' point of view when it comes to FB. It's actually one of their stock picks. And for the majority of the analysts, they believe that FB is one of the companies that will benefit in this election period. It's in the industry or food industry, food business. So I think that's one of the catalysts why FB is moving strongly at this moment since last week. Now let's take a look at the net foreign trade. Would you like to know the year-to-date net foreign trade of the foreign investors? Do you think they are net foreign sellers or net foreign buyers year-to-date? What do you think? Well, let's get an estimate based on the sizes of these net foreign trade bars that we see. Well, I think it's more or less in a net foreign buying state. I see more bars pointing to the north than the bars pointing to the south, and I think the bars pointing to the northward direction are higher or taller, let's say, than the ones pointing to the southward direction. So I think it's safe to uh, mention and estimate that FB is on a net foreign buying status 2019 year to date. MACD is bullish. That confirms the short-term bullishness of FB as well. Now for the risk level of FB with a volatility score of 46%, I'm going to assign a low risk level on FB. JC, how do you know? How do you know if it's a low risk level, moderate, high, or extremely high risk level just by looking at the historical volatility of the chart or of the stock? Of course, based on my studies, if the volatility score is 50% and below, that's a low risk level. If it's 51% to 70, that's a moderate risk level. If it's 71 to 100, that's a high risk level. Anything above 100 is extremely high risk. Okay, so this is volatility score, historical. Okay, not implied volatility. Okay, if you would like to know what's the difference between historical and implied, Google can answer that. Okay, that maybe I can discuss that later, but on another topic. But I think it's not best suited for the purpose of this EquiTalks program. Okay. Anyway, I've already give you some hints. Okay. Okay. Now, let's talk about the volume review. It's important to check on the price volume distribution of the stock. Here at Equilist Analytics, whenever I guide our clients, uh, I tell them if you came from another stock market consultancy service provider who loves to just give you some buy below prices, or they are a strong fan of the peso cost averaging method, take note that here at Equilist Analytics, we hate the word buy at quote unquote any price. We don't buy at any price. We buy regularly at regular intervals, but not at any price. Okay? We have to check specific price points. What's specific about those price points? These price points should be the ones that got the biggest volume and the highest number of trades. Okay? Meaning to say, when you look at the bid-ask spread, you just don't buy at that price that's at the very, very top of the spread. You have to check first. So what's good about the first Metrosec Pro is that it already automates the price volume distribution analysis for you. So in this case, we can see here that 109 all the way to 109.8. Let's make it 109 to 109.10. That range got the biggest volume and the highest number of trades as trading happens, as I speak. So, meaning to say, your order will be more likely to be processed if you're going to position within that range instead of you trying to place your buy order, let's say, at 105 pesos. Okay? 105 pesos. So because if you don't check, if you don't do price volume distribution, you might end up positioning your buying price at an unrealistically high or at an unrealistically low price point. Okay? What you want, the purpose of the price volume analysis, what I teach my clients is that when you do this, you increase the chance of maximizing your potential gains towards that stock when you know where to position properly, when you know where the action is happening. Okay? Because if the biggest volume and the highest number of trades is happening or are happening between 109 and 109.90, the chances of your buying price position at 106 pesos flat is less likely to be executed. But if you have a visibility and you know how to do price volume analysis, or maybe there's someone who does the price volume analysis for you and interprets that for you, then you will be advised to, let's say, JC, if you would like to trade FB today, don't be so risk averse that you are going to position your buying price at 105 or even 106 flat. Choose between 109 and 109.9. Because if you will do that, if you will position within that range, then your transaction is more likely to be executed within the day as well itself. Okay? So that's it. Now, in the same way, if you are on a selling mode, let's say you would like to sell FB, and you are being unrealistic because you would like to sell it at 115 pesos per share right now. Now, if you can see on the price volume, on the volume review tab, FB has never gone above 109.9 yet. So, you are being unrealistic when you are setting your selling price too higher, extremely and significantly higher than the intraday price of the stock. Then you're being unrealistic. When you're being so unrealistic, being too optimistic, then that decreases the chance of that transaction getting executed. Okay? So you want to maximize your gains while being realistic at the same time. Okay? So that's one of the reasons why I am a strong advocate of teaching price volume distribution analysis to my clients. And now you should know why I hate the word any when it comes to the definition of peso cost averaging, which is how do you define PCA? Buy regular shares of stocks at regular intervals at any price. That definition is very good up until at regular intervals, but no longer on the part where it says at any price. No, we don't buy at any price. We're not blind traders. There's a way on how to identify the best ranges or price points where you should park your buying and selling price points. Okay? All right. I think I'm going beyond the kind of substance that I should only be giving in this EquiTalks program. So I think I'll just reserve the rest of what I know about this trade for for the subscribers of Equilist Analytics. Okay, they might tell me that I'm giving everything already away for free. But anyway, uh, for the here's one other thing that I like about First Metrosec Pro. You can see the real-time net foreign trade. With other brokers, you will have to wait until the end of day. I think they are reliant on the AOD report of PSE as well, because on PSE's website, there's a PDF file that you can download maybe 15 or 20 or 30 minutes after trading, after 3:30 in the afternoon, and that's the time that you can see the net foreign trade of each traded stock, whether they are on a net foreign selling or net foreign buying mode. But with First Metrosec Pro, you can see in a real-time fashion the net foreign. So currently, FB has garnered 52 million pesos worth of net foreign buying. Oh, that adds up. That's an extra bonus point for the bulls. Okay. VWAP, by the way, is at 109.33. And just to give you a little bit of insight about what's VWAP, volume weighted volume weighted average price point or volume weighted average price. I've mentioned this I've mentioned this in my other videos already, but for those who did not hear it or for the first timers in the EquiTalks program, it's a classical belief that mutual fund managers buy at the VWAP so as they don't disrupt the quote unquote organic movement of price points. Okay, so they don't disrupt the organic movement of the market depth. Okay, there's a market depth that we're talking about, and okay, that's another lingo or jargon for the stock market. For the Equilist Analytics subscribers, I need to inform you that there is already a video where I explained nothing but about market depth. Just log into your account and go to the videos tab, type in market depth and listen to that video. For sure, after watching that video, you should be able to have a data-driven skill, a data-driven basis to come up with a projection on whether the price is more likely to go up or it will retrace going down. Okay, by just looking at the market depth of a stock. Okay, so let's go now to my overall sentiment on FB. Do I still need to say that? We've seen not too much, but we've seen a lot of bullish indicators in here. So it goes without saying that I am bullish on FB. Um, I would suggest that instead of relying on pure hope and prayer that the stock may hit 119 pesos per share, what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? Failed expectations? Okay. I would recommend that you use a trailing stop loss system on your trades. Trailing stop loss. For me, I use that a lot of. I use that all the time. The trailing stop loss strategy. It gives me less stress when it comes to deciding on whether I should sell now or hold some more, buy some more, or what. So use a trailing stop loss strategy. Go to equilist.com. I already wrote some articles over and over again about trailing stop loss. So go to our website www.equilist.com. You will see the search box on the upper right hand side of your screen. Then type in trailing stop loss. Then hit enter. Then read whatever articles will be displayed on your screen. Okay. Feel free to share those articles if you think they are helpful, and I hope they are. Okay. Okay, that's my overall sentiment for FB. How about trade setups? For those who already have a position in FB, my suggestion is that you use a trailing stop loss. If you enter your position on FB below 98.6, you should be a net gainer by now already. Just use a trailing stop loss and you should be fine. Okay? Just make sure you know how much percentage you are willing to risk. If your average price is higher than the current price of FB, make sure that you calculate your trailing stop loss from your average price. Okay? Is that possible right now that you have an average price that is higher than the current price of FB? Of course, it's not possible. Okay? So, but I just gave you that information just in case you are trading stocks and your average price happen to be higher than the current price of the stock. So in that particular scenario, you calculate your trailing stop loss from your average price. Okay? How about what if your average price is less than the current price of the stock? Let's say in the case of FB, you bought below 98. So therefore, your average price is surely below or lower than 109.6. Therefore, you should calculate your trailing stop loss from, not from the average price, but from the current price of the stock. Okay? So that's how you do it. What if you don't have a position yet on FB? Is it okay to chase the stock now all the way to 109 pesos, 0.70 or anywhere near 109 pesos a piece, chasing the stock all the way to the top? For the relatively new traders, my evergreen advice for you is to just stick to stick to the quote unquote buy near support strategy. Wait for some pullbacks if you're a relatively new trader. Okay, stick with low risk stocks for the meantime, because low to moderate risk stocks, they don't fluctuate like they're about to give you a heart attack. Okay, so stick with low to moderate risk stocks for the meantime. Now you might say, but JC, I heard you a while back that FB has a low risk level. I know, but here's the thing. It's already in the game of registering an all-time high. Okay, so I would suggest you buy on pullbacks. You buy on pullbacks. Now, if you are a relatively experienced trader already, you can do some test buys. If the volume, if volume continues to register the same heaviness or the same level of volume by the next trading day, then you can always add more shares on your FB. And who am I talking to with this advice? The relatively experienced traders. Okay, you do a test buy. Okay. Some may ask, what if, sir, I just buy on breakout once it breaks out above 119 pesos? Okay, you can consider doing that for as long as you still see a heavy volume once it breaks out above 119. If there's strong volume, it means to say people are still interested to buy the stock up. But once it inches closer to 119 pesos per share and you start to notice that volume is starting to get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner each day, it means to say that they are already eavesdropping with each other, thinking or observing who among these traders or brokers will start to is still interested to buy the stock up at a higher price. So you know what? You can take a look at the psychology of traders by just looking at the volume. Or not just volume, but the price as well. So price and volume distribution analysis is king to me. Price volume distribution analysis is king. That's tweetable. Okay, let me tweet that later. Okay, so there you go. I've given you my trade setup, my technical analysis, and my overall sentiment on FB. Did I say this is for free? Oh yeah, you will get more, of course, when you subscribe to Equilist. So this one, subscription. Let me give you a quick tour. Okay. So what do you get when you subscribe to the services of Equilist Analytics? I got you covered whether you are a short-term trader or a long-term investor or you just want to be mentored and you don't want to trade first or for now. So this is what you will get. Trade setups for short-term traders, investment guide for long-term investors, and consultation in our private clients forum. You will have direct access to me. Okay? That's why, girls and guys, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are PMing me, sending me personal messages or direct messages on my social media accounts, know that I do my best. I really do to respond to all of you, but of course I have to prioritize my paying customers. Okay? But as soon as I'm done with my subscribers, I answer as much as I can for those for the non-clients who are messaging me on my social media accounts. But please do understand, no, I hope there's no hurt feelings when I don't respond right away, when I don't get the chance to respond right away. Okay? Okay, I'm not going to read one by one these bullet points. For sure, you can read. Okay? So these are the things that you will get. And I'd like to give you an early announcement, an informal announcement that we will be hiking rates soon because I think for the amount of effort that we do and that we will be doing further in the coming days for our clients, I think we can only sustain this our service at this level and higher if we adjust, if we do an upward adjustment on our subscription fees. Okay, imagine that. You will only pay 4,740 and you will get all of this every single day, 365 days a week, a year. Okay, imagine that. How much will that be per day? 70 pesos, 50 pesos per day. Do you think you can get an analyst? You can hire an analyst for 50 pesos per day to do all these things for you. Of course, you cannot. That's why we need to hike our rates a little bit higher than the current level so we can, you know, we can increase the size of our capex, capital expenditure, so we can, just like volume, to sustain our bullish kind of service for you, we have to see a bigger volume Okay, so we have a bigger capex to do more innovations, to add more not necessarily add more services, okay, but to improve the current services so you will so we can help you better. And my goal for you, for each for all of my clients, for you here at Equilist Analytics is for you to know how to trade independently and invest profitably. Okay? Should you decide to keep on renewing your subscription with Equilist Analytics, it's not because you are just forever reliant on what I say, what we do, but it's just because you've just love the service. You've just learned how to love. You've just learned to love the service. You've just learned to appreciate the service because there's um, no service, no stock market consultancy service out there that that give you this kind of um, service or services. Okay. All right. Again, my name is JC De Guzman, and you've just heard, listened, and read about today's EquiTalks program. This is the fourth episode of our EquiTalks program, March 11, 2019. Again, head on to www.equilis.com and learn more about our services. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, SoundCloud profile, to our Facebook page, join our Facebook groups. Okay, if you're listening in a video, read the description on that YouTube channel. You will see all of the social media links that we have so that you don't miss a thing whenever we send out some updates like this. Okay, and if you like what we're doing, what I've been doing for the past 4 days, please leave a comment in our SoundCloud, Facebook page, email, reply to my emails, or leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Comment on those videos. Let us know. Okay. Don't just leave a comment when there's something that you don't like. Okay. Tell us as well when you think we're doing great, we're being awesome. Okay. As humans, it's not that we won't continue if we don't read appreciative comments. No, we will do this. I will keep on doing this whether you like it or not. Okay. But of course, um, it gives me more motivation. It's a motivational factor as well. Okay, when we read comments saying that we like what you're doing, okay, or feel free to mention some areas for improvement as well. Okay. All right, so there you go for the fourth episode of our EquiTalks. My name is JC De Guzman of Equilist Analytics. Have a good day.